You know what, Martin? I know it's been 5 years, but I can't believe we're finally reviewing Santa with Muscles. Did you get the copy?
Oh, did you mean the Hulk Hogan one?
Well, obviously the one with Hulk Hogan. What other Santa with Muscles could I be talking about?
Maybe you should open your present.
Oh, what the hell is Red One? Is that J.K. Simmons in a Santa suit? Jesus Christ, they really got jacked for that film. What are we supposed to do now?
Trust me, you're gonna love it. What better way to celebrate the festive season than with gifts and gains?
Well, that also explains the sleeveless Santa suits you got me. Welcome to Chatsunami. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Chatsunami. My name's Satsunami and joining me is the only person I know with muscles in my life, Martin McAllister. Martin, welcome back. Andrew, please don't leave the podcast. I'm sorry.
What a compliment. I was so sure. I was so sure you're about to say the only person that would also watch this film.
Call him A, call him B. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
After that.
Even better after that. How are you?
Not too bad. I mean, the Christmas season is rolling around as of this episode. If you're listening to it when it comes out, Christmas is right around the corner. Ooh. Cannot wait for that. That's going to be great. Hope you've got your Christmas shopping done, of course. I've got my shiny copy of Red One here and Santa with Muscles and a, of course, cardboard cutout as you give me every year. It's a bit like, you know, the tree that Norway gives London every year. It's a bit like that, only unlike that where it's, I don't want to say wanted, but you know, it's expected. Yeah. It's like just every year I think, okay, he's not going to do it this year, and then yeah, it's become a tradition in this house.
It was awkward before as a restaurant. It was just a cardboard cutout of me just in like my normal clothes, but it's getting better and better every year.
Yeah, it's getting more and more subtle. Just have to put it behind the couch.
Even when guests come over, like,
it's just your head behind like Attack on Titan.
Ignore that 4-foot cardboard cutout.
But yeah, of course, we are coming back this week with a rather interesting Christmas classic. So last week I decided to test my sanity by reviewing A Merry Scottish Christmas and A Merry Little Xmas, I think, because there's so many films that has like Xmas as in E-Xmas, and it's like, Jesus Christ, here we go. So we've got that. It is a fantastic episode. Not to watch the films, but just to record it and then. It was my therapy session. That's all I'm saying. It was my therapy session. But it was a great episode. You should totally listen to it. This week, we're, of course, going to be talking about the other Santa with Muscles, as we joked about. We're going to be talking about Red One, which I have to admit, I completely forgot about this film until you mentioned it initially, like a couple of years ago. In fact, sorry, a couple of years ago. It came out last year. Yeah, you mentioned it last year, and then this year I saw it on Amazon. Yeah, I asked you, do you want to do it? And what was your response to that?
It was a resounding hell yeah. I actually saw this film in the cinema, and it was only out in the cinema for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. It was like one of those weird Amazon release ones. So it was only in the cinema for a really brief time. So if ever you're like, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but if ever you're looking at a film, you're like, who is this film made for? And it's an action film with The Rock in it. It's made for me. I bought this movie twice because I bought it on Amazon and I went to go see it in the cinema.
Of course, yeah.
You know, these movies are made for me, and I'm very excited to talk about it.
I have to say, I wasn't optimistic. I mean, especially because it's one of those films you look at the review scores and you go, oh Lord, why is it so low? And then, you know, it's one of these films, I watched it and I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is different. And by the end of it, spoilers, I loved it. I thought it was actually a lot more enjoyable than, and maybe that's just because I had low expectations, but it was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, see, out of curiosity, comparing it to a lot of other films you watch during this time of year, because let's face it, I'm up as Christmas Carol, that has to be in the rotation. You've got your Home Alones and things, It's a Wonderful Life, that thing. Is this one you would say is in the rotation? Because it's kind of too early to tell,
yeah,
probably.
I was gonna say, it's only been 1 year. I see it's difficult because I don't know if I've ever told this. So me and my wife, we watch The Hogfather every year, the Terry Pratchett BBC one, and it's not very good. It is to us, you know, because it's special to us, but it's not a very good film, I don't think.
Do you know, fun fact, sorry to interject there, but the only bit of The Hogfather I think I've seen, and this could be a totally different Terry Pratchett adaptation, but the only bit I've seen of that is someone getting wrapped up in like a carpet or something.
Yes.
And then that was it. It's like we're flicking through channels. It's like, oh, the Hogfather, I've heard of Terry Pratchett. And there was just that scene, someone getting wrapped up in a carpet, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yep, that's the same film. So yeah, I don't know if it'll make it into rotation. I hope so. Because, you know, seeing as we can put is Die Hard a Christmas movie debate to rest, and just have, now we've got a good old action movie, a modern action movie for Christmas now.
Yeah, because, I mean, jumping the gun a bit here, I was surprised at how fresh the ideas felt in this film, because a lot of the time when a new Christmas film comes out, you know, it's a bit like when a new Christmas song comes out. Everybody wants to be like, oh, we're going to be immortal like Last Christmas or Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, you know, those kind of songs. And same with films, that they want to be the next one. The only ones I've really thought of kind of reached that, I mean, there's Elf, but that came out in like 2003. You have Arthur Christmas, which I do like Arthur Christmas. I feel as if that earned its place a wee bit. And Klaus as well, although that's heartbreaking, but I love that film. It's so good.
Klaus is so good, but then Klaus is so good, but I don't know if it's like pop culture in the same way that like Elf is, you know what I mean? Like, it's the thing about like these Christmas films, they enter that pop culture.
Yeah, because I think when they came out, it came out at a different time, you know, it's like they came out in theatres and things, whereas for Klaus, I think it came out briefly in cinema, but again, you know, I think it was like this film, maybe it came out a couple of days, it wasn't really... I remember my brother, when we were looking through different Christmas films to watch one year, and he said, oh, let's watch a Christmas film, and he saw Klaus, and he's one of these people, he was like, oh, an animated film, and he immediately switched it over, and he didn't want anything to do with it, and it's like, what? It's a great film. It's so damn good. Check out the Chatsunami episode, but it was so damn good. But again, yeah, it's because it's mostly streaming, a bit like K-pop Demon Hunters. If not for word of mouth and things, I think that probably would have came and gone, but probably going to get a lot of K-pop Demon Hunter Christmas presents this year to all the parents listening, so I apologise for your plight.
I don't. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great one.
You have the vinyl, I bought it the other week. It's so good.
I was actually telling my parents about that the other day, because I was saying to them that you went into... I didn't say about the Balan Wonder one, but for anyone who doesn't know, obviously why would you? Because this was a private...
If anyone doesn't know, this private conversation we
had. Because you were trying to get me things and you were joking, no, I'm going to get you this particular game that's terrible. And I remember you were like, oh, do you have a vinyl player? And I was like, no, you know, I'd like one day maybe, but no, I don't have one. And you were like, damn, I was going to get you the keyboard. And I'm like, well, hold on now. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to invest money in this hardware and things.
So Martin can buy himself a Christmas present.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But running up to the Christmas season, of course, we want to watch, you know, a good Christmas film, but this is one that I have to admit, I remember it was advertised, and the only reason I found out about this initially, ironically enough, was because of Terminator month, because of Adam and I, if I told you this. So if you listen back to, it was our Terminator, I think, Genesis and Dark Fate episode that we did. It's like a 2-in-1, because I'm going to be honest, having one episode separate, it's not happening. J.K. Simmons was in Terminator Genesis, not a lot in it, but he was still in it. And I remember he was like a rookie cop or something, and I think Adam said something like, oh, have you seen him nowadays? He's all like jacked and everything. And I remember looking and I saw that exact screen of him as Santa, but I didn't realise that was Santa, and I was like, oh wow, he looks like a jacked Santa. And then I never realised that was why, because he was training for...
He was training for Santa.
Yeah, he was training for Santa and Red One of all things. So I remember, oh, right, that's cool, it's coming out. I heard mild fanfare, I want to say. It was alright. Yeah, there wasn't really much conversation around this film. It kind of came and went, and that was it, really, wasn't it? There was no pop culture impact or anything.
No memes. Legitimately the death of modern films if there's no memes coming out of it.
Well, exactly, because there was a film that, I think it was Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, of all people, back to him again. They brought out one for Apple TV, and it's like their take on the Christmas Carol. Okay. I think it's called Spirited or something. I can't remember. It's a good film. Yeah. But again, you've got a great point. One who has Apple TV. No, I'm just joking. Slow Horses is great. My trial ran out, so I have to wait until they come back again. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Or buy it, but I'm going to subscribe so I can watch the last season and then cancel.
I've got that Godzilla show to watch on there as
well.
Oh,
yeah, of course, yeah. Apologies for that tangent there. But, you know, there was no memes or anything around that, so it kind of came and went. Good film, but not amazing, as it were. So you're right, this film kind of came and went. But yeah, see, without any further ado, will we just jump into it and see what makes this film so iconic?
No, say it. What makes this film so iconic?
So iconic, so bold, so brave.
Yeah.
What makes
One
this
of a
film?
kind.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be right back, of course, after these Christmas messages. Welcome to Chatsunami, a Scottish variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interest. Join me, your host, Satsunami, as well as the rest of our Chatsunami team for our takes on these very important pop culture topics.
Sir, it's clearly a trap. I accept your bait!
That happens 3 times in the film. Like every time that general goes, don't do this one thing, he goes, do you know what I'm gonna do? That's exact.
It does as well. She had the pointy teeth. What was that about?
She looked like Bilbo when he wants the ring back.
She did, didn't she? I just want the lightsaber one more time.
Parasite says, no, you will get back into your office and work.
No, says the man in Zoom. Trousers are for the working man.
You're bursting into your hotel room. Honey, we need to go.
Leave the kids. You can milk an oddish.
Oh! That's the worst thing you've ever said in any of the episodes.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out at our website, chatsunami.com, as well as all good podcast apps. As always, stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay hydrated.
Stay classy and have a banana. This has been Satsunami.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to my friendly game club where everyone is welcome. The podcast where we share, we play, we run and sing. Well, we don't run, but we do sing.
Hey kids, are you looking for a new favourite fortnightly video game review podcast?
And boy howdy have we got the show for you.
We take a different game every 2 weeks and we review them just like a book club.
You can find us on all good podcasting platforms.
And some of the sketchy ones too.
Simply search for the Game Club podcast and join the club today.
And we are back. And before we go on, I'm going to turn it on to you, Martin. What is...
Do this to me. Are you gonna please don't ask me the plot of this film?
in a couple of words or less, not using ChatGPT, what is Red One about? Because, in fact, no, sorry, before we get onto it, okay, I'll take the bullet for it.
Thank you.
But in the compromise of, what were you expecting out of Red One? Were you expecting how insane the plot of this film was?
Absolutely not. So,
yeah.
I didn't, like, watching the trailers and stuff, I didn't know how serious they were going to take it, which, like, I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I think something being serious is so much funnier than something being funny. So, like, if they tried to make a comedy movie, I don't think it would have been very good. The fact that The Rock takes himself so seriously in this, and he thinks he's making Gone with the Wind or something, it's so good to me.
It was so jarring. See the tone of this whole film. It's like, obviously, you've got Santa, oh, he's been kidnapped and everything. I mean, we've seen it in a million films, you know. Santa's been kidnapped, Santa's gone missing, etc., etc. But I did not expect how serious they were going to take it. You know, you've got Chris Evans, who is a hacker elite, as it were, you know, and he's working with shady organisations. His life's in a bit of a rut and everything. And he inadvertently tells these mythical terrorists, let's just call them, let's get the geopolitics out of the way, okay? These guys are terrorists and they want to ruin the Holly Jolly season.
Yep.
These are the people GB News warned you about. Tried to steal Christmas.
Oh, it's them that took the Merry Christmas off the side of the Tesco Christmas tree.
I mean, I thought it was just random people. No, they were ogres. They were beasts from the North Pole. But that's the only time, you know, I'll ever say something like that, so treasure it, man. So anyway, sorry, that horrifying image is... Yeah, so you've got him, and then you've got, oh, Santa's been kidnapped and everything. The Rock's literally one day away from retirement.
That's so good.
And as it's like, come out for one last ride with me on the sleigh and everything. And then, yeah, Santa gets kidnapped by a devious troll, or it is an ogre, actually, I think, technically. An ogre called Grilla, I think. And there's a secret organisation called Mora, who I cannot remember what they stand for. It's like the Mythical Organisation of Recovery Association, I don't know, but they basically are responsible for all the mythical creatures on Earth, including Santa Claus, who is a fixed point point in the space-time continuum, as we've been told.
Again, I'm laughing, but this is entirely straight played in the film. Like, they're not laughing.
Yeah, because they hunt down Chris Evans' character and they're like, oh yeah, you have to help us find Santa, and he's obviously quite miffed at that. But
specifically, Wikipedia calls him a Santa skeptic. I thought it was so funny.
It's incredible because, and I'm totally not Googling what MORA, Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority, is a clandestine multilateral military organisation. Look us up in Wikipedia. This is the plot, the first line, that protects a secret peace treaty between humans and mythological creatures. Callum Drift, head of Santa's security detail, plans to retire after one last Christmas run, having been disillusioned with people's increasingly toxic behaviour. Exemplified by Santa's growing naughty list. But on Christmas Eve, an unidentified Black Ops team breaks into the North Pole complex and kidnaps Santa. Mora director Zoe Harlow's subordinates discover that Jack O'Malley, a freelance black hat hacker, compromised Santa's location. Right, that's the first paragraph of Wikipedia, right? And I know that sounds quite lazy to read out, but I don't think my description could do it justice. This is the whole setup, that Santa's been kidnapped, they have to go find him. So The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson, aka probably the scourge of parents everywhere who have ever watched Moana. What can I say? You're welcome. Haha. So sorry. Please subscribe to Patreon. Subscribe to Patreon and I won't start singing. But they end up teaming up and everything, and they go to different locations all over the world. And as you said, this film takes itself so seriously. I cannot believe it. I thought you were joking, like, oh yeah, this is a film that takes itself so seriously. But I think if they didn't take it seriously, then it would have flopped, wouldn't it?
In anything, The Rock over the time has become more and more less funny, which makes him more funny to me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like, because obviously he used to do a lot of comedy and stuff, and now he's so serious. And I know this film has jokes in it, but reskinned, this is a Fast and Furious movie.
It really is.
You know what I mean? Like,
this is Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, and Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes. Hobbes is short.
Calvin and Hobbes, the wee boy with the
yeah, because I was going to say, like, I got you your favourite DVD. Oh no.
The scene at the start where, well, it's not the start, a couple of scenes in where Santa gets kidnapped.
This is like the first half hour, by the way.
Yeah. We have to talk about Santa doing his workout first. But the scene where Santa gets kidnapped is an absolute epic car chase. It is a full-on multi-car. The Rock's going through the Futurama tubes. Scooter's going about. It is like a genuinely huge set, like an expensive set piece. The likes of an 80s film would have killed for this kind of set piece. And they're throwing it away on chasing Santa. It's so good.
And the fact, I mean, spoilers for later in the film, the whole thing's a setup. So it's like, how the hell did that happen? It is so good the way that they do it. And the action is surprisingly competent in this film, which I know it sounds weird to say because it's a big budget Amazon thing and it could have easily gone wrong with everything involved, but I was so surprised, you know, that the action is so fluid. You've literally got a scene where they're fighting snowmen and everything and they're exploding.
That's a great scene, that.
Oh, that is incredible.
Is it really, like, I'm a big sucker for like environmental fights.
Yeah.
Stuff around them and they're trying to melt the snowmen and using bits like from the grill and all that. It's just such a stupid scene and it's genius.
Funny.
It's so stupid and it's so brilliant.
It's just the way that they really take advantage of everything. It's a bit like, I can't remember the episode, but something you and I have talked about in the past where it's like animated shows that take advantage of the fact that they're animated, you know, like we love to see it rather than just saying, oh, let's do a straight lace character study or something. And it's like, well, if you want to do that, get real actors and don't have Shrek, but do War and Peace with Shrek kind of thing. It's like weird. I don't know why thinking that together, but no, sorry, Citizen Kane with Shrek.
Oh, God,
I should be, sorry, that's more relatable to the kids, isn't it? Yeah, that 80, 100-year-old film. I can't even remember when Citizen Kane came out because, yes, as you know, haven't seen it. Is that a Christmas film? No, okay, fine. Well, I can't watch it this month then. Thank you, Martin. So
I feel like I've been duped.
Yes, this is the reason we're doing this episode, so I can justify not watching Citizen Kane again. But yeah, the whole film, as we said, is a globe-trotting event. You know, they go to Aruba. Well, I use Aruba in air quotes. They go to see the Krampus of all things, and then they go back to the North Pole. There's these massive set pieces. You go from gothic horror to these sandy beaches to the winter wasteland of the North Pole. It is absolutely insane. And I will save my thoughts on the Krampus for later, but it's just incredible, isn't it? It's quite visual visually appealing.
Yeah, it's a really nice film. That when you mentioned at the start about the J.K. Simmons workout pictures,
Yeah.
they came out in, honestly, like 2023.
They must have,
They were
yeah.
really early. They worked on this film for a long time, obviously filmed bits over the summer and stuff, because it is a visually very interesting film. They've got lots of different locations, lots of different scenes.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's horror movie stuff in it. All these like random woodland scenes. There's like the beaches, the cities. It's like, this is huge budget for this very, very unusual film.
I mean, unusual's a word for it, for sure.
I didn't have I've run out of words.
Honestly, it's a baffling, in a good way, but it's one of these films that's like, who thought of this idea? But then you look at it and it feels more like, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it's like a buff version of Arthur Christmas. That's what it feels like at times. I'm like, all right, they've trapped Santa in the snow globe and this mythological society has to bring him back. They even have the Headless Horseman in at one point saying, did you kidnap Santa? I don't know, it's just everything slots into place and I love it all the more for it. I just think it is incredible. It is the way they do it, the way everything comes together. It is spectacular. I think 10 out of 10 film, no notes. But yeah, it's fascinating to see how this film unfolds, because there's a scene where it's like, oh, we have to go see Grila's ex-boyfriend or something, who is Santa's brother. And I was on the edge of my seat. You know the way people watch those trashy TV shows on Netflix and things, and it's like, you know, selling Manhattan or selling things. It's like, oh, who would ever be interested in this? That's exactly how I was, because it's like, we have to go see Santa's brother. All right, is it going to be like another guy? Oh, you might know his name. This was like Doctor Who hype in here. It's like, you might know him as Krampus. I was like, oh, Krampus.
Endgame has nothing on this.
Endgame has zero. Endgame and what's the new one coming out? Doomsday or something? Whatever it is, that will never live up to Red One. It's just the hype I felt when I'm like, oh my god, they're going to see Krampus. And can I just say, the practical effects and the visual effects, my god, they nailed that down. Krampus looks amazing in this. And I've never seen a Krampus film. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you have to compare and
There's
contrast.
one horror film, isn't there? Like,
yeah,
I think I've seen the horror movie.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that they bring out in this, they're all very kind of Germanic and Scandinavian, aren't they? You know, like Grilla is, I don't know, there's those kind of very ancient legends and things about punishing the wicked. Krampus is definitely European, but you know, all of these kind of myths and things, and it's cool the way that they blend them all together. I really like that. But it's when they go to Krampus's lair, and it feels like something out of Labyrinth, doesn't it?
It's so funny, and I love it all because Evans falls at the first hurdle multiple times, and he's like, don't touch anything that treasure chest, and they're like, why would we do that? And then he's straight in the shape,
steals a guy.
It's like, so dumb, but it's so brilliant.
Oh, it is, yeah. And I love Chris Evans' character. Could we talk about him for a second? Because there's a scene that I forgot to mention at the beginning where, as a child, he tries to tell everybody that Santa's not real, and his uncle at the time catches him. He's like, what are you doing? And the young version of Chris Evans is like, oh, I'm trying to prove Santa's not real, blah, blah, blah. And then he grows up to be really cynical and just an ass. He steals someone's coffee at the beginning and everything. He goes to steal information from this university. He ruins a perfectly good yoga mat in the process and a good sound system. And my favourite bit was seeing the baby with the candy.
That's such a good bit.
I love that so much. I think that's the turning point. I went, this is going to be a good film. Because it's like, you look at it and you thought, no, he's not going to be that cartoonishly evil taking candy from a baby. And he takes candy from a baby, and they're like, 10 out of 10 asshole here. Great.
That's the thing. Any other film would be like, that's too stupid.
Yeah.
And this film's like, no. Not only is we doing that, we're playing it straight.
Yeah.
Like he is stealing candy from an actual baby.
So good. I love it. I don't know why. I love how cartoonishly evil he is. Or not evil, but just misguided, as it were. And he's had a son called Dylan with another person that I think he says he never got married to her. They just had the baby together, and she's married to this really good guy. And that is something I do like about it, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they get together in the end. He just learns to be a better dad to his son.
No hallmark here.
Yeah, there's no getting together, and she realises the error of her ways. Or, yeah, well, I say error of her ways, you know, it's his ways.
I feel like the guy that's literally stole candy from a baby is probably the one in the wrong year.
But you know, that way it's always like, oh, it turns out you're a great guy after all, kind of thing. But no, fortunately they don't do that, and I really like it all the more for that. But yeah, I do like that. I think that's a very fresh twist on the whole Santa's gone missing story. As I said, I love all the action in this film. I think the action, as we said, is incredible. The technology is incredible as well, where he's got the thing where it's like he turns toys into...
Yes, that's inspired. That's very Ant-Man.
Yeah, he turns toys toys into real things. Like he's got Hot Wheels that turns into the big sports car. The only thing I don't like, and it's such a Chekhov's gun, is remember he buys all the toys and he buys the Rock'em Sock'em robots that help defend off Krampus's goons, as it were. But the thing I don't like about that scene is he gets a big Monopoly board and he never uses the Monopoly. And that really irritates me because it's like, well, is that for money or is he going to get the Scotty dog? What are you doing with that Monopoly board, Dwayne Johnson? What are you doing? Krampus, as I said, absolutely incredible character. I love the whole gothic kind of grim Christmas around him. Love it. Thought 10 out of 10, no notes. And especially when he pops up at the end. I don't know about you, this is such a niche thing, but I love that trope. See, when it's like the last minute, the heroes are the last legs and everything, nothing could rescue them, and then all of a sudden another massive ship comes in and fires. They did it in Halo, done it in this. I love it. I love that trope.
It's genuinely, it's like he comes in on a ship and the ship's incredible. Like there's not a spaceship, but you know what I mean? Like
like an airship. Yeah. And it's like they're chanting his theme song. It's like ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah ah ooh. I'm like, honestly, I was so close to cheering. I was like, Krampus!
He made it!
Yeah. And granted, he gets his ass kicked when he comes down.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The entrance alone. It's like, you know that scene in Megamind where it's like, you forgot one thing. Presentation! Love it. 10 out of 10. It's something you were also mentioning about the actors in this film. Lucy Liu's in this. Yes. Didn't realise she was going to be in it until...
There's a who's who of actors that I can't see acting. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have this thing, but that honestly just makes the film funnier to me.
Yeah.
So like, I have this thing with certain actors, and The Rock's one of them. Dwayne Johnson, Batista's another one. Lucy Liu, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see them as anything but the actors, not the character. But honestly, because there's so many people in this film that are like that, like J.K. Simmons, Chris Evans, all of them, I don't see them as characters, I see them as them, and I think that makes it even funnier.
Because, Dwayne Johnson is Dwayne Johnson in any film. You know, there's no getting out of it. Chris Evans, he's a hit or a miss. I think he can do it. Yeah, he can do it when he wants to, but you still see Chris Evans, you know, as Chris Evans. J.K. Simmons, you can see J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, because I was trying, because when I was trying to remember who was in this, I was like, oh yeah, Dwayne Johnson, Captain America, J. Jonah Jameson, Lucy Liu
from Charlie's Angels.
Oh, that's a low blow. Lucy Liu. Clearly our magnum over for Citizen Kane. But you know, you've got all these people and you're like, you can definitely see them as those characters. But at the same time, it kind of adds to the...
I think it doesn't make it worse by any means. I think, if anything, like I said, this whole film to me is so weird that it loops around and becomes incredible. I think everything that should be wrong about this film makes it more right.
100%.
If it was more cynical a film, then I would critique it. But the fact that it's so stupid that it just...
Because the thing is, I can't believe I say it's like the male version of a Hallmark film. You know what I mean? It's like one that's so stupid, but you can enjoy the silliness and embrace it. Whereas for a Hallmark film, for example, it's like you can't really buy into it unless, you know, you really like Hallmark films, which there are a lot of people. I think I brought this up last week. There's actually a Facebook group of Hallmark fans. Yeah. It is so weird that you're, again, you know, I don't want to knock anybody's interest, but you're reading it and it does feel like dead internet theory. You're like, are these real people or are they memeing? Are they, you know, is it genuine? I don't know. I do not know, but hey ho, fair enough, I guess.
So you've mentioned no notes a few times. I do have notes about one particular scene.
Oh, do tell.
I just like to bring up just now. I'm just going to show you the picture. This is the picture that was doing the rounds.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the workout scene.
Yeah.
And I do have some notes.
Do tell.
That I'd like to share. Number one. So this is a really weird scene because obviously The Rock is in this film and he's probably also doing some kind of production. We don't know how much, but every film he's in, he's obviously involved in something behind the scenes. So like nothing gets past him. In this scene, Jonah Jameson's doing shoulder press with a barbell. First of all, they've done wraps around the barbell to improve his grip to make it look like a candy cane.
Oh,
excellent touch.
Of course.
But what's really about it is he's on a bench and he's sitting upright, and it's just like, I'm not an expert in workouts by any means. Compared to The Rock, for example. I like to think I know more than the average person. But
well, you know more than me, of course.
But usually if you do shoulder press, you want to have your back supported. You would just do a different exercise with a flat bench, and the whole setup's just slightly iffy. Yeah. And I don't know, I'd love to see it behind the scenes for this, why they settled on this particular weirdness thing, because of 1,000 exercises they could have picked, this is the most awkward looking one. So like, I don't know if they couldn't figure out a way of getting both his face and Dwayne Dwayne Johnson's face on screen at the same time.
Yeah, is it not though because they want to show off Santa being muscly, maybe, or to show off, oh, he's still in shape, or do a bicep curl or something,
or squats or something just outrageous. Like, it's such an, I don't know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just very, very strange, which is very funny again. It just adds to the weirdness of this whole film.
It just seems, it seems bizarre, I have to
They
say.
just had to get The Rock's face in it, I think. But it
Yeah,
makes me
I
laugh.
have to admit, The Rock does seem, and I mean, rightfully so, I suppose, the work he's put into the industry and whatnot, but it does feel as if he is very much, look at me, look at my face. This is a film with a polar bear as like the muscle of the MORA. I don't even know, because he belongs to an organisation that's the ELF, which is like, oh, elf, and they make fun of that. And I love how, although they poke fun at themselves, they don't do it in an obnoxious way to be like, oh, the ELF, oh, look at, it's not whiny kind of thing. But it's just, I think as well, as you brought up, it's so serious the way that Dwayne Johnson reacts to everything. He's like, yes, I'm the commander of the ELF. Will you find this funny and everything?
And ELF has its own NASA control center. The whole thing's like, just on the subject of it taking itself so seriously, they do a lot of explaining things that happen in real life.
Yeah.
But like, again, in the most serious way.
Yeah.
It's like, Santa eats cookies, but they're super calorie dense, high protein cookies, and they do have a naughty list, but it's magical, and that's how that works. And he has to drink the milk, and like, it's just so.
Can I just say, I love the
funny
lore building of this.
That's what I mean. Everything has to get mentioned and explained.
Remember when it's like, oh yeah, the reason that there is a naughty list is because his brother Krampus wanted to punish all the naughty children and things, and I thought, it was so funny. It's like, oh yeah, so he banished him from the North Pole and everything.
I forgot they explained that before you meet him as well.
Yeah.
They spend so long.
And honestly, when they said Krampus, I was expecting just a guy, But it's like a full-on demon goat man kind of thing. It's like, this is incredible. This is a 10 out of 10. As I said, the manly Hallmark film of the year. And I hate to say that, but it's true though, because it's like, it's so stupid, it shouldn't work. But it does. Everything falls into place. And as we said, the seriousness of it. And one of my favourite scenes, I don't know if you've brought this up yet, is they have a throwaway line where it's like, Santa hates macarons or something. And, I love that so much. He phones Mrs. Claus and he's like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just baking Santa some macaroons. He's like, oh, that's great. I can't wait to be back. We'll send you your best wishes. We'll keep you updated. He puts down the phone and he's like, that's not her.
The Terminator 2 switch. It's so good.
Your family's dead. And then immediately after that, the shapeshifter turns into the guy and he goes, they're on to us. I lost it. I was like, this film, 10 out of 10. Incredible.
There's a scene after, again, so this is the kind of thing that would wind me up in any other film, but there's a scene after the leave Krampus and they're driving. This is like to lead into the finale, because they've obviously gone, we've had the big spot with Krampus and then we've got to do the finale. How do we get them there? There's just a piano in the middle of the road. And he goes, do I have to play? And he just goes over and starts sitting there. No, we have to stop and play this piano. And he's like, why? It's a mark.
Because what I love is, even with the straight-laced seriousness of The Rock, it's like, he asks them, have you ever seen a magical piano? And even he's like, no. And that's how absurd the situation is. And usually that would be the point in a film where you'd be like, oh, this is a serious moment. This is the moment where, oh gosh, candy canes are going to hit the fan, as it were. But it's just so silly. But what I love as well is, so the whole, something we haven't mentioned, is Greela's plan is to trap all the naughty people in the world in snow globes. So only the nice people will be there. But obviously that's going to encompass 90% of the world, because we've all made mistakes, of course. And the first guy that they get to try it out is so cartoonishly evil. I love it. He's yelling at a ticket inspector. He's yelling down the phone, I don't care, Grandma's been in the hospital. Get her to take the train and everything. It's like, it is so cartoonishly just horrible. We never see that guy again, by the way. There's a scene going back to the piano that Chris Evans is like, and I know his name's like Jack O'Malley or something, but yeah, no one cares. It's Chris Evans. So Chris Evans plays the piano. He's like, I have to, rescue my son because Greela kidnaps him. And they're both in the snow globe. They have this very touching moment. And I do find it hilarious, him trying to explain the film up until this point. And his son just be like, what are you talking about?
As anyone would.
Yeah. Even the audience, you're like,
that
actually did happen. Oh my God. At this point, he's like, as you said, he was fighting snowmen, which have freezing powers. Oh, I love that scene so much. He's been fighting Krampus and such. And then they have this warm heart to heart, and their change of heart means that they're no longer naughty. away, so they get to leave the snow globe. But you never see that other guy again.
I never had a change of heart. Like,
No.
he's stuck in there.
Yeah, I guess he's stuck with Gorilla, I suppose. I thought, oh, it's so funny. Yeah, that's how the film really ends. They have this huge Ragnarok-esque
Yeah, it's just this gigantic Marvel fight ending.
Yeah. And I love that at the end where they're trying to uncouple the reindeer. I just love that whole sequence at the end where they're trying to stop Gorilla from... So basically, she's on this runway. And can I just say at the very beginning, it's so weird that Santa's being accompanied by, it's F-16 or whatever the fighter jet is. You know, like the American fighter jets is like, Red 1, you're all clear. And I'm like, oh, I love this film so much. It's so good.
Yeah, they unironically dropped the title right at the
Yeah,
start.
but yeah, it's like they're aiming for this portal that's gonna, you know, send all the snow globes. I just love it so much. And she's riding the sleigh and everything, and Chris Evans is trying to kick the hell out the boat that's holding them together. And yeah, as we said, we've got the Krampus coming in to swoop down. This all sounds fake. It is so real. It's the only reason that I haven't quit my Amazon Prime membership just now, because the film
Watch
is
it again.
it is so good. And again, you're sitting there going, I can't believe this film's real. And what I love about, and I'm saying this non-ironically, I love how fresh this film is in terms of its interpretation of Christmas, because I've watched a good couple of contemporary films, you know, like That Christmas. I've said it before, I don't really like that. And there's a couple of other interpretations that are, you know, for better or worse. They try to adapt things that have already been done, because as I said at the very beginning, we've had a lot of Santa's been kidnapped kind of stories, Nightmare Before Christmas being one of the main examples. So you're like, how can you make this different? Again, the reason I think of Arthur Christmas is it's one of the first films that I felt it truly was bringing Santa into the technological age, as silly as that sounds.
No, makes sense.
Because yeah, it used to be back in the past, obviously Santa was just wooden toys, and then it's like, how do you explain to kids now he's got a factory shipping out PlayStations and things like that? So it was cool to see that, but it was cool to see how he fit into that world. And it was also cool to see that they're talking about the naughty list and how The Rock's character's just like, I'm so disillusioned by there's more naughty than nice people. I mean, that is true without getting too deep into it. You know, like there are a lot more people who are disillusioned or gonna act out more, especially after the lockdowns and things. And it was a really cool thing to add. It's a Christmas film where The Rock slaps Krampus silly. As we said, an ogre slaps Krampus. There's a lot of slapping Krampus, because that's one of the jokes in it, that they celebrate Krampusschlaus or something like that. It's like a holiday for Krampus, and it's one of those, you've probably seen it online, the slap. Yeah, it's like the slap competitions where it's like they get chalk on their hands and they just batter the hell out somebody's face and then they just collapse. And that's exactly what it is. It's like Krampus nearly beats them, but because of, that's the only thing that slightly spoils it, is because of The Rock's infamous clause, no pun intended, of his contract that he can't get beaten. Like, he can kind of falter in a fight, but he can't truly get defeated in a fight. So yeah, that kind of ruins it, because you know, obviously it's a Christmas film, so
he's
you know,
gonna win anyway. He's the good guy.
But again, at the very end, I was like, how's this film gonna end? And yeah, Krampus was not on my bingo card, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, see, it's an overall thing. What are your thoughts about this film? Did you think that this film, despite the critics, you know, panning this and everything, did you think this was an adequate, if not satisfactory, as it were, did you think this was a good film to add to, I suppose, the pantheon of Christmas films?
It's so unabashedly weird and strange, and like you said, it does so much to try build up lore. And I do really like that thing we mentioned with The Rock being like a cynical guy about the naughty list growing on. So like they have quite, I don't want to call it dark, that's not the right word, but they have captured that kind of modern cynicism about things, but kept it quite funny. And it's so 2024.
And yet a lot of the tropes do feel quite old, but somehow slot into it. As you were saying, and I mentioned it earlier, that The Rock's character, I think it's Cal, he ends up, like, it's his last day on the job and everything. He's one day away from retirement, and that's exactly like, you know, all these like 70s 80s police dramas where it's like, he was a detective, it's his last day in the job, but he's got one more on him kind of thing. And again, it shouldn't work. All of these conflicting types of tropes, they shouldn't work, but they do, and it's just incredible. I'm not gonna lie, it's fantastic.
And I get why the critics don't like it, because I get you watch hundreds of films and things that are very funny and silly to us on. I think you do have to be in the right mood for this kind of film. or have the right attitude to enjoy it. I can imagine if this was your day job and you had to watch this film, you'd be like,
yeah,
and I get that. But like, if you go in expecting something that is, I don't know, if you take it for what it is exactly at face value, it's hilarious. One thing I am curious about, and we obviously mentioned a few times, we mentioned the secret organization, Mora. Is this a cinematic universe in the making? Is this going to be Easter 1 and Halloween 1? And
I did have a thought about that.
It feels like they don't
explicitly set up for it.
Yeah, but they don't explicitly rely. You know, it's left very open-ended that this could be something they revisit.
I don't think, because of the reception of it, I don't think they'll do it, but
you're probably right.
They definitely left the door open, because it surprised me when all of a sudden we were looking at the Headless Horseman at one point, and I was like, he's not a Christmas thing. And then they do the overarching, it's for everybody in the myth world. And I love the idea. I think the idea's cool. It's very
Torchwood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there. Because they actually fight fairies at one point, which is such a weird episode. In the end, they don't even win against the spoilers, but they don't win against the fairies.
Oh,
it's
no, season 1 of Torchwood's been spoiled for me.
It's been what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, it's going to be 20 years next year. Jesus, that is yes, hashtag I feel old to the usual. Let it go.
But yeah, overall, I get why people panned it, and I get why other people might not enjoy it, but I think for us, we're on the same wavelength where we just want a big dumb action movie, and this is all those things, and it's perfect.
Yeah, because as I said, I feel a bit bad, praising this film and the hating on the Hallmark film we did last week, but I feel as if the reason that works so well is just because it isn't ashamed. I'm not saying Hallmark films are ashamed, but it's not ashamed to be goofy at times, but at the same time kind of lean into it, whereas for Hallmark films, as you know, it comes off as quite goofy and look, it's supposed to be serious with high stakes. And I mean, my partner Miss Tsunami and I, we watched one recently where it was like a struggling writer who went to this town, I think it was called Aurora or something, I can't remember the name of the film, put any generic title here, but it was like they went to a town called Aurora to see the Northern Lights. Insert your own Steam Hams reference here.
I wasn't saying a thing.
The whole thing's like, we're not going to see the lights because I can feel it, and it's just try to be serious but also kind of silly, but not in a good way. And as you know, that's a whole episode for another day. But this film, it knows it's goofy, it knows it's over the top, but it wants to make it a spectacle, it wants to make it a show. So if you're looking for something like A Muppet's Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life, those kind of tier, those are leagues above. Those are the serious / kind of, I mean, they have got their goofy moments, but at the same time they are the top tier Christmas films. So I don't think it reaches those heights. Same with Klaus as well, love that film so much. But and ironically enough, I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, this is J.K. Simmons' second role as Santa Claus, the first of course being Klaus. He's a good Santa Claus, I'm not gonna lie.
You should do it again.
Why not? Make a trilogy. The J.K. Simmons trilogy. Imagine the whiplash going from Klaus to this.
To Whiplash.
Make the trilogy happen, whoever owns this film. Honestly, it's not ashamed of just being a dumb action film. Again, I hate using the phrase, it's a popcorn flick, but it is, yeah.
I think as well, like, Christmas films need an element of popcorn flick to them. It's okay to talk during this, and it's okay to maybe go put up some decorations while it's on and you don't miss much. Like, that's part of it as well. I think that's okay, because Christmas films should be social and they should be laid back, and popcorn flick's the right word for it. I don't want to sit down and watch Citizen Kane, not that you would know, but
so that's not what you got me for Christmas?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to sit down and watch like a really serious movie that I have to pay attention to fully, because Christmas is social and it's fun and there's fucking lights, and you want a bit of that with a Christmas film. I think Muppets Christmas Carol, not to do an episode of Muppets Christmas Carol, I know you've done it, but like that nails the perfect thing between it's a story, but also you don't have to be there the whole time because you're chatting to your family and it's Christmas and you're wrapping presents and you're doing this. And Red One is the same level of like 94% of my attention.
Yeah, the Muppets, I have to say, not that we're going to stay here another hour and do a Muppets dissection. I mean, we could do.
10 out of 10, no notes.
The Muppets is one of those films, and it's maybe one of the slight pitfalls of this film is I don't feel as if it's very quotable. It's got some like really memorable moments, but I don't feel as if it is. I mean, even when I was cleaning the house today and doing things for Christmas, I find myself quoting to Miss Tsunami especially a lot of the Muppets Christmas Carol. If we order a takeaway and I'll say, to this place, the foul founder of the feast. And then, follow up by, the founder of the feast indeed. It's like so good. Every time I want to be dramatic, I don't know if I told you that. Probably I had no reason to tell you this, but it's like times where, it's like not an overly serious situation, and then I pull out the card of life is made up of meetings and parties. We will never forget not doing the dishes or something like that. And she's like, stop doing that. I'm like, never.
You don't understand.
Completely off topic, but did you notice that in the background of the chat studio?
I've been looking. Yeah, this entire time I've been across from Funko Pop figures of Tiny Tim and Tom Cratchit from the Muppets Christmas Carol. I've been trying not to stare at them.
Yeah, my brother got me them a couple of years ago, and now I have an excuse to put them out. I'm like, oh, they are so good. God bless us, everyone.
Tiny Tim, who did not die. That's good. No, I can't do this.
Yeah. Such a good film. But yeah, I wouldn't say that Red One kind of reaches those heights. But at the same time, as you said, it's one of those put your tree up films. Put it on in the background and
come back for the explosions. The scenes with the kids, fine. Talking, whatever.
Yeah.
You're there because you're doing other things and it's a good time.
Yeah, there's no real scene in this film. Like, I don't feel as if this film drags, even though it's like...
It's a long film for what it is.
It's 2 hours.
Yeah, it doesn't feel it.
I remember I put this on, again, ironically enough, in the background, and I was like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And then I looked at the thing, I was like, 2 hours? How long is this film? And then I was like, all right, that'll be fine. But yeah, it's an absolutely enjoyable experience. All I can say is the only thing I regret about this film is I didn't watch it sooner. And I said this to you, but I genuinely regret it because it's such a good film. And don't get me wrong, it would only have been last year I would have watched it, but I regret not watching it last year because it's so good. Again, I wouldn't say I'd watch this film every year, but as a kind of back and forth thing, it's definitely worth checking out.
I definitely think it's one of those films that I always think of. We used to do the Bad Movie Club.
Yeah.
And it feels like a good one of those. Get your friends over, just watch some silly action and enjoy yourself.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't say it's as bad as the films we watched before.
No, but as in like a more of a social film than
absolutely. Saying that note, Martin, thank you so much for introducing me to this film. As I said, I wouldn't say it's like, oh, I have to have it in the Christmas rotation every year, but it's worthy of it though. It's worthy of at least checking it out. I wouldn't really call this a family film though. I think there's some moments where, obviously for younger children, big no-no, but for teenagers, I would say this is good for teenagers and above because it's kind of in between of kids who they might be too old for certain films, except A Muppet Christmas Carol, of course. A Muppet Christmas Carol that's for all ages forever, but yeah, it's good for that kind of thing. It's a good kind of transitional film without being too overly adult. Like, it's not Violent Night or something like that, or
it's an action film, but it's like a very teenagey action. You've nailed that. Yeah, kids that are obsessed with superheroes will probably like this one.
Oh, 100%.
Not like toddlers. Kids and young teenagers that are obsessed with superheroes will love this.
On that note, thank you so much for coming on this episode, the penultimate episode of the year, would you believe? Do you feel old yet?
I do feel old, but I feel Christmassy, and that's like the opposite of feeling old.
Probably doesn't help that we're sitting right beside a Christmas tree right now while filming this, or I say filming, recording, you know what I mean. Well, maybe next year we could do like a video podcast. That's actually one of my, I say New Year's resolutions, but when I get my act together, we should really do it. But we could definitely do that at some point. Yeah, Patreon exclusive. Pay me to see my face. Which is so weird because I know this is a tangent before we wrap up, but every time I go to these Comic-Cons and things, obviously Chatsunami's relative. I don't want to give myself a big head and be like, oh, it's so big in the indie podcasting sphere, but it's notable, I would say. People know of it, but when I'm there in person, obviously because I don't show my face, I'm behind the Red Panda thing, nobody really knows me, so they're kind of like, who are you? It's like, Chatsunami from Chatsunami. They're like, I have no idea, that meme of, I've got no idea who you are. But until then, before we do that, before we get ready for the holiday season, where can the lovely Pandalorians who are probably wrapping presents as we speak, where can they hear your content, see your content? Yeah, where can they find you?
Yeah, so best places to find me is over at Instagram or on TikTok. Just search Martin McAllister. You will find me. I think this year I am preparing for a photo shoot and I'm doing like a big wrap up of what I've done and achieved this year. So it's probably a good time to follow me because you'll get to find out more about me really quickly. Apart from that, I I've been on several Chat Tsunami episodes, so you can just scroll back, try and find me if you want to hear more of me, or shout out to our friend Scottish Wrestling Network podcast, because I've worked for him a few times as well. That's the big places to find me, so I'll throw it back to you. Thank you for having me on.
As you were saying, if you want to check out more episodes featuring our lovely selves, including our unofficial sub-series of We Sit in a Car and Review a Film in Glasgow. That's how niche it is.
We're doing a new one. We're doing a new one soon.
I will need to, actually. What are you doing next week? No, yeah, then you can check us out on their website, chatsunami.com, as well as all good podcast apps. I also want to thank our amazing Pandalorians, Robotic Battle Toaster, Ghostie, and Cryptic1991. Thank you so much for supporting the show. But if you would like access to exclusive festive and juicy content, why it's juicy, I don't know. Go find out for yourself. We've got early access, we've got Let's Plays, Twitch VODs, bloopers, all the like. Then you can check us out at our Patreon page, patreon.com/chatsunami. This podcast is, of course, a proud member of the Podpack Collective. For more information, check us out at our Twitter/X page at Podpack Collect. Definitely check it out, because we'll be doing a lot more in 2026. But as always, Pandalorians, thank you all so much for listening, and on behalf of both of us, we hope you have a fantastic Christmas and indeed a happy new year. So as always, stay safe, stay awesome, stay hydrated, and most importantly,
eat every mince pie you can find.
Why do you say that so sinister? It's like, this isn't a request, it's an instruction.
yeah, that was an instruction. Go to your desktop.
Santa doesn't like a quitter.
You get put on the naughty list.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
No, for legal reasons, I own the naughty list.